a mile from the scene where this farmhouse, where this all unfolded this afternoon. It is along Hard Drive. As you can see, it is blocked off with numerous police cars. Dave Miller was headed home. He lives right around the bend here, and he kind of saw all of this happening. Dave, tell me what you saw.
Well, I saw the police rolling in, and I pulled off the side of the road to get out of the way, and they put a drone up, and I looked over to the right, of course, and I saw the police in the barn. Looked like they were looking for someone, and then I heard the gunshots ring, and I saw people on the ground, and I got clear. And more police were still rolling in. They were coming in from all directions. It wasn't long till I heard a helicopter and coming in also. So it was quite an event.
When you saw people on the ground, those were police officers?
I couldn't see it quite clear enough whether it was a suspect, but it looked to me like it was a police officer. Yes, in the middle of the road, laying down. Yep.
Now, I know you know the family pretty well who
Yes.
live in this farmhouse.
Yes.
What did you know about what might have been going on and why a search warrant was being served there?
Nothing real clear right now. Good family. Known them for a long time. The children and the mother. The father had passed away. So it's just the mother and children living in the farm. Yes.
What was this like for you to experience this?
Well, in this neighborhood, nowadays, nothing surprises you, but it's pretty close to home.
How many shots would you say you heard being fired?
30 shots. It was just continuous. Yeah. Lots of shots. More than what I could count, but it was at least 30 shots. And it went on for quite a while. It wasn't a quick ordeal. It was lasted a long time. So
I can't imagine what that was like for you.
pretty traumatic,
Well, thank you.
Feel
Dave.
sorry for the family.
And I imagine, do you know some of police officers who are with Northern York Regional and sheriff's?
It was a mix
deputies?
It was a mix of sheriffs and marshals and Northern Regional. I saw all different colors of cars. Yes, all different. It was a mix.
And you obviously knew something was up when you saw the drone in the air and you saw all these
Yes.
police converging on this farmhouse.
Yes. I spoke with the officer that put the drone up as I was passing through, and he said I was, keep moving. I would be safe if I kept moving, and he was right. So,
Well, I'm certainly, I'm glad you're safe. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Dave also told me that the family had moved out of the home about a week ago because they were fearful of this person who obviously they were serving a search warrant here. So that's the latest here in Spring Grove. Back to you.
All right. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. All praises due to the Most High. Psalms 2 verse 1 says, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Verse 5 says, then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. And I think about that when we see yet another shooting, or if, as they say, if it were black people, white on white crime, where this young man, I assume, because they said the mother and the children were living there, has opened fire, actually ambushed 5 Cordorus Township deputies as they came to serve him a warrant. Now I'm going to give you more information on what I found out about what happened and why it happened. But I'm also going to show you what the governor of Pennsylvania is saying in regards to this. And it is not the usual narrative that is placed on black people that commit crimes of being a violent thug and a criminal, and we have to stop these people at all costs. Now, this incident happened today, and they originally said that the suspect turned the gun on himself, which we just found out is not true. he actually had a standoff with the police. And as you heard the eyewitness say, it was a very long ordeal. And from my understanding, the police were looking in the farmhouse. Once again, I said without proof that it was going to be a white man. And I don't know too many black people who are living in a farmhouse. Nevertheless, they said they were looking in the farmhouse. And then, as the man said, all of a sudden, he started hearing shots. And then he saw the deputy laying in the ground. He said it was continuous shots. It was continuous shots. And the police told him to keep moving. He would be safe. So that means that they were still engaged with this individual who they earlier had said had turned a gun on himself. And even the guy goes with the narrative, which I'm gonna read a scripture that speaks to that. He said, well, they were a good family, very good family. But they were a good family, so good that the mother and somebody else moved out of this farmhouse. And then eventually, when the police come to serve a warrant, he blasts them from a cornfield. Now, here's some more information that I found out. Now, they have not publicly identified the suspect. Of course, they haven't, because, he's a white man and they have to protect whiteness at all costs. But law enforcement did confirm that the shooter was killed by police. Now, the shooter was the ex-boyfriend of a woman living at a farmhouse in North Cordorus. So that means that the mother and her two children had to flee their own residence because this man came back and was obviously terrorized. Now, a warrant had been issued for the suspect's arrest on charges of stalking and criminal trespassing following a report from the woman on Tuesday, which is yesterday, that she had seen him near her property. Now, during the follow-up visit, the shooter, who was wearing camouflage, ambushed the police from a cornfield. And so this is what this individual does. He was already terrorizing this woman. And then when the police come, he's hiding in a cornfield dressed in camouflage, and he let off. And as the neighbor once again said, continuous bullets and, firepower, but why are they not showing his picture on the news? Why? Because he's white. Why are they not calling him violent, criminal, thug, savage, monster, killing innocent people like they did with the guy on the train and, the Cincinnati brawl? Why are they not saying all this? Let me let you listen to the governor of Pennsylvania, Mr. Shapiro, whatever his name is. Watch how gently he treats this situation and the person who killed 3 police officers and wounded 2 others. Just check this, and these videos are used in fair use for literary and commentary purposes only. Check it out.
This kind of violence isn't okay. We need to do better as a society. We need to help the people who think that picking up a gun, picking up a weapon is the answer to resolving disputes. We need to do better when it comes to mental health. We need to do better when it comes to looking out for those who are in need, so we don't have to deal with tragedies like this. We got to do better as a society. I know everybody up here believes that, and everybody up here works hard to do that every day. I just think as a community, it's time for us to work hard to heal from this and to make sure that those whose lives were lost today, that something constructive can come from that in their memory that stops this kind of violence in the future, that protects those people that put on those uniforms for us. It makes it so these trauma surgeons don't have to patch this many people up. We got to do better as a society. I know we're all committed to doing that work. We've got to do even more. Now's the time for this community to come together and to do this important work. And so on behalf of a grateful Commonwealth, I say to those who wear the uniform of law enforcement, thank you. To those who wear the uniform of healthcare, thank you.
Now, do you hear that governor's assessment? This violence is unacceptable. We just have to do better as a society. We need to help the people who think it is okay to pick up a gun and resolve disputes. We need to help them. We need to do better with mental health. And to those in need, as a community, we need healing. And those whose lives were lost, let them not be lost in vain. Let something constructive come out of this so we can all come together. And these trauma surgeons don't have to, you would think this person didn't just commit an extremely violent act. And of course, with the white people, you know what it is. You heard them say it. The mental health narrative. Every time this guy was obviously evil, he was terrorizing his ex-girlfriend and her children, so much so that they had to leave. And this guy is still protecting him, even though they have killed other white people. Once again, whiteness cannot be condemned in America, no matter under what conditions. If this would have been a black man, I'm talking about gun violence, gun control, black people, National Guard, all of those things, man. And we've seen it. We've seen the different narrative with the guy on the train. That's one person, and he had severe mental issues. This guy, we haven't even seen a picture of him, haven't released the name of him. And now, once again, the first article said that he turned the gun on himself. This one is saying that the police shot. But why are they not putting that same narrative up that we see in other cases? Even the picture, even the long criminal history, none of that denigration. Let me read this scripture and explain it to you. And shout out to my brother who sent it to me. You know who you are. Romans 2:14 and 15. For when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves. Verse 15, which show the work of the law written in their hearts, their conscience also bearing witness, and their thoughts, the meanwhile accusing or else excusing one another. Excusing one another. A white man does this crime, and the governor is basically excusing the man. Why? Because he is white. He can't accuse him, so he excuses him. There's no pictures. I'm waiting to see, one picture of this guy. We have not seen any pictures. But what they are switching the narrative to is these convoys and these vigils of the officers. Just watch these real quick. And so there you see people lining the streets. In this vigil, they say, people can bring their signs and stand out on the road. And that was later. That's still tonight. So people are still out there mourning those police, but there is no condemnation of the shooter. And so that's why, certain people feel they don't feel the way some people feel when these things occur. And just let me say it like that, because once again, as I stated, I'm not celebrating any death. I don't, celebrate this event. But what I can relay is that I've worked with several families whose relatives have been killed by police, totally innocent, and they don't get the same honor, the same respect, the same sympathy. And those people were black, and most of the officers were white. And why don't they get the same sympathy? Shout out to my brother. Amos 3:1-2. Hear the word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. And that is the reason, I guess, that, you know, God has chosen black people to live a certain way. And when we don't, we have to suffer the consequences of those. But 2 Chronicles 7:14, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, turn from their wicked ways, seek my face, then I will hear from heaven, then I will forgive their sins, and then I will heal their land. So, but until then, you know, we have to be vigilant and watchful and know that we are going to bear the brunt of this. Because like I mentioned before, not a lot of black men are walking around killing police officers. But it is always that fear of the black man that caused them to shoot us. But when dealing with white men, they handle them with kid gloves, and then they end up in situations like these. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comments. Y'all see the number 919-587-7782. Thank y'all for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. And as always, peace and blessings. Scripture says all things that are hidden shall be revealed, and those things done in secret shall be exposed on the mountaintop.
Let's go, Rich. Let's go. You watching Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it. You should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. The propaganda grammar, don't believe none of it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it. You should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it. You should tune in to Telehouse Publishing.
Negroes have listened to the trickery and the lies and the false promises of the white man now for too long.